Hello Explorers, welcome back. So, we are going to do another Mod Podge cash stuffing because I spent all day today cleaning. So, I have not printed any of the stuff I need to print. I am still waiting on challenges. I don't think any of them have even shipped yet. So, yeah. Alright. Hope everybody has had a good couple of days into the new year. We have 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 5, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 50. So $150. And we're just going to see what we can do with that. Alright, so I have a couple of extra binders with me today. I don't know if I'm going to cash stuff into them or not. Since we have this one right here, let's go ahead and start off with Jen's challenge. Just putting $5 in at a time. Because I don't want to do a full Japan cash stuffing right now. Simply because that's not where the majority of my money needs to be going. So I figure we'll just work on one challenge at a time right now in Japan. So that we're still putting money into it, but we aren't allocating all of our budget there. So we're going to put $5 in, so we now have 65. Especially because if I do that every day, we'll get that done pretty quickly. Alright, so that one's good and out of the way. Let's go into this one. Let's get a gas one done right away. Do I have my phone? I don't know where I set my phone. Uh-oh. Oh, I see it. Okay. So let's go back here to gas. And we'll pick this one. New York. I'd like to get two. You know what? Let's commit to two. New York and West Virginia. So we have 2 left in there. Let's grab a couple more. Grabbed 4 more, so now there's 6 in here. We're going to do New York and West Virginia. Let's see. All right. Let me see. Average gas price. West Virginia. That is $3.10. So $3.01. $30. Going into West Virginia. And then put that back there. Let's go ahead and see what New York is. New York, $3.12. 2 high ones today. $20, $30, $31. Alrighty, but we got 2 done, so that is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. We're finally making progress in this one. I can't wait to finish it. Once we finish that, then we can start working on the 2025 challenges. Alright, what else do I need to do? Before I do this, I did pay some stuff, so I want to make sure that I pull that. So I made this payment, but it hasn't come out of my bank account yet, so I want to leave the prop money in here because that way I know that that's not extra money in my account. It needs to come out. I also paid my manager, but that I actually transferred directly to her bank account to avoid paying a transaction fee. So that can come out because that came directly out of my account. So that is taken care of. Okay. And you know what, you guys? I wanted to go over... Let me grab one binder. Let's go over my CDs. So if you are not familiar with CD ladder, let's talk about that. Let me get a pen. Actually, you know what? I'm going to use this Sharpie, and I'm going to bring you guys down a little bit. I'm just going to get a blank piece of paper. Okay. So, let's talk about CD ladder. If you're not familiar with what a CD ladder is, I highly recommend Tracy with Golden Girl Budget. That is who I learned about CD ladders from. And she credits learning them from, I think it's Debt Free Jessie. But personally, I learned from Tracy. So, what is a CD? A CD is a certificate of deposit. And the way that a CD ladder works is that the idea is that each month you purchase a CD for however much you want. Personally, I purchased a $250 CD every single month, the beginning of the month. And you get to choose how long before... Ugh, my nails look gross because I've been cleaning all day long. You get to choose what the length of the CD is before it matures. So, for example, if I put $250, if I purchase, it's not an account, you are purchasing this. So if I purchase a CD on, say, January 1st for $250, then, and I purchase it for a 12-month CD, then on December 31st of next year, it will have matured. That means it is the most it's going to be. And at that point, I have to choose, do I want to cash it out? Do I want to... Well, really for me, because I use Capital One, the only option is to cash it out. Other banks allow you to either cash it out, add to it at that point, cash out just the interest. Like, they usually give you a lot of options. Capital One automatically cashes it out for you when it hits the maturity level, when it hits its mature date. But then at that point, you have the choice of what you want to do with it. So with a CD ladder, you're purchasing them every single month so that the following year, every single month, you have that money releasing to you. But the idea is that you add to it every year. So for example, if I purchase a CD January 1st of this year, it's going to mature next year. So then next year on January 1st, I take the $250 from my CD this year, plus its interest that it earned, and then I add another $250 to it, and I purchase a new one for $500 plus the interest that it earned. So then in February, same thing. And you do that every single month so that for various reasons. My reason is that I'm self-employed. My income is unstable because of being self-employed. There's no guaranteed paycheck, which also means we don't have a general retirement plan because we're self-employed. So whatever, the only retirement we have is what we put in ourselves. So for us, it's really another way of securing our future and making sure that if we're ever in a hard spot, eventually we will be at a point where if we're ever in a hard spot, say July comes around or July is coming up, it's the end of June. We'll say it's the end of June, and I know that we don't have the money for the bills in July. Not a problem. July's CD will be releasing to me on July 1st, and I know that that will help me with the income for July. It's basically extra income that I have been putting up for years, and it gets released to me on the 1st of every month. So then July comes, I've not repurchased my CD because I needed that money to pay my bills. And then August comes, things are still a little, iffy, so I keep the one that released to me on August 1st, use it to pay my bills. But then you know what? September, we're back on track. So September's releases on September 1st. I don't need this one. I'm going to purchase a new CD with the money that released and add to it. And you keep doing that. But the idea is that for me, is that I get enough in there eventually so that it's 1 month worth of bills. So that if I ever am in a hard spot, I have every single month on the 1st of the month enough money releasing to me or getting paid out to me in my CD to cover my bills for that month if I need it. And if I don't need it, then I want to add to it and purchase a new CD and just keep doing that. It does earn interest. Right now, the interest rates are very, very, very low. A lot of people that had CD ladders are actually not continuing them because the rates are so low. Me personally, even though the interest is really crappy, right now I think it's at like 3.8%, which last year that's what my regular high yield savings was at. The interest rates were actually at 5.1% last year for CDs, and now they're down to 3.8. So even though the interest is really crappy right now and it's not really worth it, the idea and the structure behind the CD ladder is a reason enough for me to keep it going. So that is that. But I wanted to go over it because when I purchased mine, I did not purchase my first one until April of last year. So I am not up on my renewal on any of them. However, when I purchased mine, the best rate was at a 10-month CD. So some of my CDs are 10 months instead of a year. Some of them are 11 months and some of them are a year. Because I purchased based off what... Excuse me, I had Chipotle and it's not agreeing with me. I purchased my CDs based off of what was the highest rate. So I had to go in and look at when those were all going to be maturing so that I could figure out where my CDs are, when I'm going to need, like, basically just figure it out so that I can have one solid year of CDs. So that's what we're going to go over together. So let me pull that up. Because Corey and I came up with a game plan after I was like, because I was looking at it myself and trying to figure out what I was going to do. I knew this year was going to be weird because of last year when I purchased them. They were all different lengths. So the first CD I purchased was on April. Let's see. Okay, babe. Okay. The first CD I purchased was on April 14th. It was not the beginning of April, but that's okay. And it was only a 10-month CD, so it's mature, and instead of maturing on April 13th, it's going to mature on February 14th, because it's 10 months. And it was at a 5.1 interest rate. So, what I am going to do, we're going to write down each month. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So when I purchased my January one, it's actually going to be the first time that I have a January CD. But Corey and I worked out a plan so that we can have a full year starting at January. So currently I have no CD for January, and I would normally put $250 in there because that's what I put in every month. But since my April one that I bought last year matures in February, so when I add to it, it's going to be double. That would mean that pretty much all of these are going to have double except January. I didn't want that, so instead of putting in $250 for January, we're going to go ahead and put in $500. Rather than putting in because last year had we started in January, we would have put in $250, and then this year we'd put in $250 again, which would make it $500. We didn't start in January, so it has nothing in it. So when I make this month, I'm going to make up for it, and we're going to go ahead and deposit $500 or purchase a $500 CD this year. So that's the plan. Now, my April one matures February 14th. But instead of waiting for it to mature on the 14th, because I want all of these to start on the 1st, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and purchase a CD on the 1st for $510.61. Why is that? Because on the 14th of February, my $250 CD from last year is going to mature, and it will be $260.61. and then we're going to add $250 for this year, making it $510.61. But I don't want it to mature in the middle of the month every year because that's not going to help me if I have bills due. If I'm waiting until the 14th, my bills are going to be late. They're going to be past due. And that's the last thing you want when you're already hard up for money and needing the CD to pay your bills. So, what I'm going to do, and this is why we have to make a plan, I am going to make sure that I put aside $510.61 to purchase February's CD on the 1st of February. And then on the 14th, this amount will be released to me, and so I will just take that money and put it back into my cash stuffing money because I've fronted it by purchasing it on the 1st. Hope that makes sense. So then the next CD that I have is, it was purchased May, when was it purchased? Why am I not seeing this? It was purchased May 2nd for $250. So that one's perfect timing. We can do the second. The second's still good enough. And it matures, because it was a 10-month CD as well, it matures on March 2nd. So let's put in there, it matures on March 2nd. And this one will be $260.56. Don't know why. They have the exact same interest rate. Weird, but okay. We're going to add $250 to it, which will make its total $510.56. So then we're going to go to the next one that I purchased. And the next one's a little bit funny. So the next one was purchased, this was purchased April, this was purchased May. The next one was purchased in June. However, it's a 12-month CD because at that time, that's what had the best rates. So it was purchased June, actually it was purchased May 28th. Wait a second. March, or April, May, June. Okay, yeah, I purchased it May 28th instead of waiting until June 1st, but it was my June one. I just purchased it a couple days early for $250, and it had a 5% interest rate. So the interest rates were starting to go down a little bit, but it's a 12-month. So even though I purchased it on May 28th, unlike the other ones, it's not actually going to mature until May 28th. So because of that, nothing is maturing in April. So I have no CD for April because these two were 10-month CDs. So they matured 2 months early. This one was a 1-year CD. So that left nothing maturing in April. So for May, here's where it gets a little confusing. So my June one, I purchased May 28th. It's going to mature May 28th. I don't want May's maturing at the end of May. Again, we don't want that. The bills are now a month past due if I consider this May's. So instead of considering it May, we're going to consider it June. And we're going to put that it comes in May 28th. So what I'll do is when that matures on the 28th and that money's released to me, I'm going to wait until June 1st to purchase the new one. And its maturity is going to be $262.49. Plus we're going to add $250 to it, which means we will be purchasing on June 1st a CD for $512.49. So we have nothing here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that we have nothing and nothing, because nothing is maturing in those 2 months. Which means I'm going to go ahead and purchase a CD for $500 both of those months so that next year all of these are even. I hope this is making sense and that I'm not just confusing you guys. I guess I should have maybe done them a different color, like ones that are maturing versus what I'm putting in. But it is what it is. All right, so let's see about July. All right, so July's was purchased July 4th, I think. Let me see. So it was purchased on July 3rd. For whatever reason, it is a 12-month, and it matures on July 5th. We are going to purchase this early because by the 5th, again, my bills are late if I wait until the 5th. So we will purchase that early. And it is another 12-month one. It is, let's see here. It was a 5% interest rate, and when it matures, it will be $262.48. We will add $250 to it, meaning it will have a balance of $512.48. But again, we're going to purchase it on the 1st for $512.48, and then when this releases to me on the 5th, it'll just go back into wherever I had pulled the money from to purchase this early. And I'm doing this to basically get them all on the same track of being on the same day every month, or at least within the first 3 days of the month, so that I have enough time to then pay the bill with that if I were to need it. And so that they're all kind of around the same amount. I didn't like that my ladder started in April. Like, that's when I started it last year, but because those first two I did a 10-month to get the higher interest rate, it was going to leave a gap here, and it was just going to be kind of a mess. And so I knew this year I was going to go in and try and fix it. So this is exactly what Corey and I did. We sat down and we went through everything. So now for August CD, it was purchased on July 31st. So, and it is a 12-month CD as well. It matures on the 1st, which is perfect. This is why I like to buy them on the last day of the month, so that they mature on the 1st of the month. It's kind of annoying, but it doesn't tell you until after you've purchased it when it's going to mature. So some of these I purchased this one I purchased on the 15th of April, and it matures on the 14th of February. But then this one I purchased on the 31st. This one I purchased on the 31st. It matures on the 1st. So it's like, I can't seem to get them on the exact day I want them to mature on. But close enough. This one was also at 5%, so it is going to be $262.50 when it matures. We're going to add $250 to it. So it will have a total of $512.50. And we won't need to do any adjusting to this one. We'll just add the $250 and call it a day, because it does mature on the 1st. All right. Next, let's look at September. Okay, so September is another one that it got real messed up. So the next one is September. It was purchased on September 3rd for $250. It is a 12-month one, so it matures on the 4th. And it's going to be $261.23. We're going to add $250 to it, making it $511.23. Here's where things got a little funky. The one that I purchased in October, the best rate at the time was for an 11-month CD. So even though I purchased it in October, it is also going to mature in September. It was purchased on October 2nd, and it matures September 3rd. So what I'm going to do is we are going to hold this money. I purchased it for $250. At this point, the rates dropped significantly. We went from 5% for this one down to 4.3%. So it was purchased at $250, and when it matures, it's $259.84. We're going to add $250 to it, which is going to be a $509.84 CD. This one, again, it matures on September 3rd, so we're just going to leave it in the high yield account until we're ready to purchase our October CD so that we get it on track, because we're going to have two of them maturing. This one matures on September 3rd. This one matures on September 4th. But we want to fix this. Plus, I don't mind them maturing early. It's when they mature late that it becomes a little bit of a problem. Now, we have another little bit of an issue here. So, November, purchased this one on October 31st, the very last day of the month. So, you would think it would mature November 1st, except it was also an 11-month CD. So, it matures on October 1st. So, again, when it matures, it was at 4.5%. So, we went back up because this one was 4.3. This one is 4.5. So, it went up a little bit. When it matures, it's going to be $260.27. We're going to add $250 to it, making it $510.27. This is going to mature on October 1st. We're going to hold it in the high yield until we're ready to purchase it in November. Not a big deal. It's okay. It's okay. December. I messed up. Messed up just a little bit in December. So December's was not purchased until December 12th because I was in Mexico and forgot to buy it. Yeah, I know. So, we're going to have to purchase this one early and then just pay ourselves back when it matures because it does not mature until the 13th. And it is back to being a 12-month one. And it is down to 4%. So, pretty low. Let me see. So, when it matures, it's going to be an even $260. We're going to add $250 to it. And so we're going to have $510. But again, it's not maturing till the 13th, so we're going to go ahead and purchase it early. I'll front the $260, and then when that $260 releases to me, just pay myself back for it. So, next year, on January 1st of 2026, $500 will release to me. At that time, I will have the option to purchase a new CD with the $500 that releases and add more to it, or just take the $500. It's up to me. I personally hope that I don't need that $500 and I can keep this going every single year. But this is my sheet, so I think every month I will go over with you guys, just kind of like go over again. So when I go to purchase February's, I'll just go over like how much it was, what we're adding, and what the new balance is, and how it works. So we don't need to go through like every month again, but that's a in-depth rundown. I probably over-explained it to the point where you're probably confused even more now. I tend to over-explain things, but that's just me. So that is that. I thought I'd go over that with you guys because that was something that I had to figure out. So if I had to figure it out, I figured let's do it on camera and explain it. All right. So we got some monies left. And I don't know where I want to put the monies. Let's see. I still want to be doing ones in here. So let's just do one more in here for right now. I'm waiting to do a full cash stuffing until some of my things come in or until some of these payments come through. I would have loved to have done a binder like reset. I'm kind of glad that I waited to purchase things and that my binders aren't ready because it's giving me time to finish some of these up that need to get finished up instead of trying to add new stuff to them. So we're going to add $12 into this one. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, I purchased our flights. So at this point, we have flights. We have one of our places that we're staying. I need to call tomorrow. Let me add this. So we have 50, 60, 70, 80, 92, 93, 94. I only purchased my flights there. I have not purchased the flights home. And I will explain that in just a minute. So I need to call during, like, when they're actually open. This place. Hope you guys are catching what I'm talking about there. I need to call that place because we're supposed to stay in that hotel 2 nights and then do 2 days in the park. However, when I try to book 2 nights on the website, it's automatically giving me 3 park days. We can't do 3 park days because the day that we arrive, we don't get in until about 8 o'clock at night. So that's a whole waste. I don't want to pay for a ticket, like 4 tickets, because there's 4 of us. I don't want to pay for 4 tickets that we can't use because we're not even going to be there. Like, we don't get there until pretty much the park closes. But online, it automatically adds those tickets and it doesn't let you remove them like it does for like Florida and California. So I have to, from what I'm told, I have to call so that I can book those separate or adjust that. So I need to do that. I booked our tickets. I paid for our flights there. I did not pay for our flights home only because it is a 2-part trip. The first part of the trip, we have accommodation taken care of for the most part. So I'm trying to like finish up that part of the trip, like the first part of the trip first, and then kind of see financially where we are and what we're able to get hosted for the second part of the trip. If nothing can be hosted for the second part of the trip and we just aren't bringing in the funds that I need to be bringing in to be able to pay for everything for the second part of the trip, then we may just cut it at that first part of the trip and fly back from there. But I don't want to overextend myself and commit to both parts of the trip until I know that we can do it. So I think it's easier to break it into 2 parts, work on getting the whole first part done and paid for and planned and everything, and then see where, like, reassess where I'm at and what is in that account, that trip account, and then work on planning and paying for and booking everything for the second part of the trip. So because of that, I haven't booked the flight home yet. I did book the flight there because we got a really good deal. And I wanted to lock that in and not lose that. But I only booked the flight itself. I didn't pay for the meal service yet. Like the meal on the flight. I didn't pay for any of our luggage yet. I paid for the flight. I paid for our seats selection. And I paid for travel insurance. Just so that I could lock those flights in. Because you can add on the luggage and stuff up to 4 days prior to the trip. So that way I'm not completely depleting that account. And that gives us time to kind of figure out what luggage we're going to need. I don't like booking if you have to pay for luggage, I don't like to choose my luggage right away. Just because I don't want to pay for a bunch of luggage that's non-refundable and then we don't end up needing that much luggage. But my little tip to you guys, always, if it is an airline where you have to pay for luggage, always pay for your luggage before you get to the airport. Make sure you know when their prepaid luggage cutoff is. For this airline, it's 4 days prior to the trip, so I will make sure that we have paid for that before the 4 days because you get a discount when you book it online. It's always going to be more expensive in person, and it's always going to be more expensive if you wait until after that prepay period. So keep that in mind. All right. So, and I have more information about this trip, but I can't tell you guys it without giving away locations, and I can't give away locations because my kids are sitting right here. So, that is that. Let's, I thought about starting the Christmas binder, but I have a lot of, oh no, I just threw some challenges. I have a lot of stuff that I haven't put in here yet. So I want to wait. I guess maybe I could do 1. Should we start 1 challenge in the Christmas binder? I don't know. Do I want to? I kind of don't want to because I have a lot of new stuff going into the Christmas binder. we're just going to hold off. But actually what I'm going to do is take $25 and I'm going to put it in the back of the Christmas binder because I cashed out $25 on Swagbucks and I want that to go into the Christmas binder. So I'm going to put it in here. Where do I want to put it? I will put it in this envelope because that is the 25 from Swagbucks and I want that to go towards Christmas. Actually, no I don't. No I do not. You know what? I have an idea. Christmas is going to be a regular cash stuffing until we have it completely funded, just like we did last year. I want this 25 to go in here. So this binder is not going to be regular right now because we have other priorities, but I still would like to be putting money into it. So what I'm going to do is if I cash out Swagbucks or Receipt Jar or possibly even my Amazon Pay from now on, I might be putting it in here. We're not going to cash stuff it in here because this still has like my household bills, which we don't pay anymore. So I need to make new trackers. But I do want to start working on this very, very, very slowly because I don't want to be taking money from my real goals, which are emergency and debt payoff. So that is that. We still have some monies left. What can we do? What can we do? Let's put it in here. Yeah, let's start putting it in here because I need to start putting money into this binder. I try to cash stuff this binder every single week because it is the most important binder that I have. So let's work on the next emergency one because we need to build up emergency again. And this is from Budget by Valerie. This one's going to be $100 total, so $10. We can do that. We can handle 10. So that is going to go in here. I try to finish one of these, at least one of these a month, so that I'm putting at least $100 into emergency because emergency is a top priority for me. Should we do another one? Yeah, I think we've... Ooh, I don't know. She likes to sneak some big ones in there. $5. Okay, we can handle that. We can handle that. Okay. My vacuum does not like to pick up off of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we now have 15 in towards emergency. Let's do... These ones scare me because these ones are very big. 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, and then $2. You know what? Let's go ahead and put that 30 in here. Finish up this medical one that's been sitting here for quite a while. So now in medical we have 100, 200, and a high yield. And then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 300. 300 even. And this one brings in 500. So we have $2 left. Where is the front of this book? Oh, that is the front of the book. Okay. Let's take the $2 and put it into our catch-all. I told you guys these videos are going to be kind of all over the place for right now. While we're just trying to get money into a little bit of everything. Still working on finishing up end of the year stuff. Waiting on things to arrive. Etc. etc. So, We're going to put the last $2 into here. We're actually making progress on this. This thing still has like 5 million spots to go. This is going to bring in so much money. But we're going to take these $2, put them into my Figment cash bucket. And if you haven't seen it, I'll show it in a different video. Because I just don't feel like bringing it up into the camera. It is very large. It's a Figment popcorn bucket, technically, that I never used for popcorn. I bought it specifically to make this challenge. And you can find this challenge on my Etsy. If you are interested in the you know what? Screw it. I'll show you the popcorn bucket. If you're ever interested in any of the Disney popcorn buckets to use as cash trays, or I mean, like money things, just let me know. I'm happy to grab them from the parks and ship them to you. So this one actually lights up. And it's got Figment back there, but he's kind of being covered by some money. Let me see. It's got Figment with like a rainbow. But, and then it's got a Figment. What you call it? Strap and everything. I love using popcorn buckets for different things. I have a Mickey mummy. Is he a Mickey? Yeah, it's a Mickey mummy. It's like a full body Mickey. Mommy, can I put my slime? No. That is from Halloween Disneyland, like years ago. And I have never used that one for popcorn. I have always used it as a purse. Because it matches really well with my Mickey and Minnie Halloween dress. So the openings are nice and big on them, so I just use them as a bag, as like a crossbody bag. So then, I don't know, it's so cute. I also have a ton of them, you guys. I have a ton. I have a Steamboat Willie one that's like just the head, just like Steamboat Willie's head, and it's all black and gray, and it matches perfect with this like Steamboat Willie outfit that I have. And then I've got like these Mickey hand ears. It's literally just a hand on each side, like a Mickey hand on each side, and I wear that all together, and it's so cute. So I love popcorn buckets for that reason. Lennox loves popcorn, and just by having the popcorn buckets, Disney World does where you get like $2 refills, but you don't have to get it inside the popcorn bucket. You can just tell them you want it on the side, and so they'll give it to you in a cardboard. But you do have to have a popcorn bucket to get that deal. Disneyland does not do the refills. They do occasionally on pass holder exclusive. So my Steamboat Willie popcorn bucket was a pass holder exclusive bucket. You had to be a pass holder to be able to purchase it. And during a certain period of time, they gave us, I think it was $3 refills. It was either $2 or $3 refills, but only on that bucket. And it was a limited time that they did it. And I haven't seen them do it since, and that was years ago. But Disney World does it all the time. If you ever have a popcorn bucket, bring it back to the parks with you so you get that refill discount. It can be it can be old popcorn buckets. They don't have to be the most current. They do not care. So yeah, little tip for you. But that is officially all that I have for you guys today. I'm hoping that something will change by tomorrow so that when I film tomorrow's video, I have some updates and can update a couple of these binders, and we can do another, like a regular cash stuffing. But until then, we're just going to keep doing these mismatched cash stuffings and continue making progress in old challenges and finishing them up. Wow, I can't speak. So that is all for that I have for you today, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. So until next time,